Hello, this is Dave Sugarbaker, and the date today is June 18th, 2023, and I have something to say about the abundant life. I've got two readings, first from John 10. This reading says this: "So again Jesus said to them, 'Very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and bandits, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters by me will be saved, and will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly.'" And the second reading is from Psalm 23, the 5th verse. "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows." It seems to me we lose track of some of the best images from our religious tradition when we get bogged down in daily life. The news doesn't help. We hear of the latest advances or losses in war, and there's always a war someplace. We hear that artificial intelligence is going to eradicate the human race. We hear the latest extremist statements about how our country is going down the tubes unless we put them in charge, whoever they are. Jesus clearly says his mission is to give his sheep, that is his followers, an abundant life. Sometimes I forget the abundant part. When I'm asked by friends how I'm doing, and I say things like, "For an old man, I'm doing as well as could be expected." Or I'll say, "I'm okay. I wouldn't say great, but I'm okay." I hope that's not my old pessimist self re-emerging. It's almost like I'm taking this amazing statement by Jesus and rewriting it, given my slightly grumpy perspective. So in my head, I'm retranslating Jesus' statement as, "I have come that they may have life, and that they may have it as well as could be expected." Or, "I have come that they may have life and have it passably good." Or, "all right, considering." Or my dad's favorite would be, "I have come that they may have life and that they may have it pretty good." That was his favorite thing, was pretty good. Jesus definitely did not say, "I have come that they may have life and have it pretty good." Jesus specifically says that his goal is abundant life for those who follow him. In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus says, "Forgive and you will be forgiven. Give and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be placed in your lap. For the measure you give will be the measure that you get back." A good measure of forgiveness or generosity, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put in your lap. Psalm 23 offers a poetic glimpse of who and what God is. And the first image is that God is the good shepherd. And the psalmist tells us what the good shepherd does for the sheep. And then the scene changes, and God is our gracious host. Now, in the Middle East, 3,000 years ago, a host, a Bedouin host, had a responsibility to feed and protect a guest in his tent from any pursuers. But God does even more than a human host would. And the line that I like best is, "My cup overflows." God, the host, will take such extraordinary care of his guest pursued by enemies, that his cup, that is the guest's cup, will be not just full, not just brimful, but exceeding the capacity of the vessel and spilling all over the place. That's the kind of abundance God has in mind for us. We're not used to thinking in terms of abundance. Pretty good is often just about as much as we could allow ourselves to expect. Reasonably full is good. No more, please. Up to the brim is more than plenty. But God, focused on abundant life, doesn't stop there. And God says, maybe we can get a little more in the cup. There's that cool thing called surface tension that lets us fill a cup up over the brim with liquid, and it mounds up just a little over the brim until your hand shakes a little and it spills all over the place. Maybe a bit more, even if it spills all over. God's abundance isn't controlled, restrained, or careful. It isn't polite or neat or tidy by human standards. There's an exuberance to God's definition of the abundant life. Things could get sloppy, and definitely things could spill. Jesus says, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. God's capacity to give to us exceeds our human ability to receive all that abundance. That's not God's fault, and it's not our fault either. We just have to realize that God wants the abundant life for us. Our job is to do the best that we can to move toward being abundantly alive. It's not an easy thing to do. But it occurs to me that there's something we overlook that's really quite easy. We need to understand the power of words to facilitate our abundant life. The words we use help create the life that we live. If your words are heavy, negative, slightly grumpy, as I tend to be, these words color your perspective and flavor your life. If you want to be open to God's abundance, you're going to have to talk the talk before you walk the walk. Use the language of abundance. How are you today? I'm glad to be alive. I've had my challenges lately, but it's a beautiful world. It's a gift to be here. When we use the language of abundance, we hear what we're saying, and it can change our perception of ourselves in the world. In psychology, it's called congruence. This isn't about how we appear to others. It's not like the Pharisee who threw around a lot of holy words so others would see him as unusually pious. Talking the language of abundance is for our own benefit. Philosophers write about how we human beings give life meaning, and we do it with our words. We do it with our perceptual choices. By the words that we choose, we can help create a world where we are more ready to accept that overflowing cup that God has for us. We can create the abundant life. And this is nothing new. Giovanni Giocondo wrote in the 1500s about the importance of our perspective on life. And he says this, it's as true now as it was then. There is nothing I can give you which you have not. But there is much, very much, that while I cannot give it, you can take. No heaven can come to us unless our hearts find rest in it today. Take heaven. No peace lies in the future which is not hidden in this present little instant. Take peace. The gloom of the world is but a shadow. Behind it, yet within our reach, is joy. There's radiance and glory in the darkness, could we but see. And to see, we have only to look. I beseech you to look. Life is so generous a giver, but we, judging its gifts by their covering, cast them away as ugly or heavy or hard. Remove the covering, and you will find beneath it a living splendor, woven of love by wisdom with power. Welcome it, grasp it, and you touch the angel's hand that brings it to you. May we be ready for our cup to overflow. Now, God bless you. Stay safe. If you find value here, I would greatly appreciate it. I'd be honored if you would pass it along. So thank you for your time. God bless.